It makes just freaking walking out of this building easier. You know what I mean? It makes everything easier. It was a great team win. I mean, that's how you win as a team. You play good defense and you run the ball, and that's kind of what we did at the end.
Winless, no more. The Vandals put it together on both sides of the ball and dispose of New Mexico State in the Dome. But the win didn't come without a price. Inside the Vandals right now. Hey, welcome into another week of Inside the Vandals. Coach Petrino not with us today as he's on the road due to the bye week for recruitment, so we're joined instead by the radio voice of Vandal football, Tom Morris. Tom, thanks so much for being with us.
Good to be here, Thomas.
Now, to start out, when did you guys get the sense against New Mexico State there on Saturday that the Vandals were finally going to get that first win?
I think the first drive of the game, scored first, our first lead at home, and once Montgomery went in from 5 yards out, I felt really good because it was moving the ball well.
Absolutely. You and Evan up there have called some very close losses. How nice was it for you guys up there finally seeing the team put everything together and get a win?
Well, putting everything together, special teams, defense, and offense, one or two of those wouldn't quite make it to the finish, and you'd lose by 5 or 12 points. This one was a complete game, and that's the reason for the win, a complete game.
How close has this team been in the previous weeks from the games that you guys have seen? How close have they been to putting it together? And obviously they finally did, but how close?
About like that. Very, very close. Took care of the ball, forced 4 turnovers instead of committing 4 turnovers, forcing punts, moving the chains, and running the football 300 yards. That will win some games. So that was kind of put it over the top. Get the W, move on.
And those rushing yards, that number, isn't that the most they've had in a long time?
Most since 1996 against the Orange and Blue down south.
We don't even like to mention that name.
Yes, but Jarrell Brown, I mean, Coach had a system, and you're protecting the quarterback, okay, Challenge is in for Linehan, and the offensive line's doing their thing. Give it to, as he always says, the stud, and that was Jarrell Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. In these close games, and you've been calling these games for a while, but when New Mexico State got within 6, then they got the ball back. What is it like for you guys in the booth? Do you start to get nervous, or what's it like up there?
Yeah, please, not a 95-yard run from scrimmage when they have it 1st and 10 at their 5-yard line. But, you get a little nervous, but the way the game was, and they closed it in the second half, but it still felt like the Vandals. When I was watching on the sidelines, there's guys still, they're in the game, they're high-fiving each other when they're not in the game. And to me, the spirit of success was across all 3 phases of the game. So I didn't worry about it.
How concerned were you when Matt Linehan went down? And do you know what his status is right now? Do you expect him to be back against Arkansas State? So kind of a 3-part question there, but what was that like?
Well, he was down. When a quarterback slides, he's down, right? It's not like pro football, you can get back up. And I thought it was a very late hit. It was a well-called play. I mean, you got to kick the guy out. And when Matt came off the field, I thought there's no way he's coming in. But it's nice to have a quality backup quarterback, Chad Challenge, who certainly did his thing. I don't know. I'm not going to claim to be the Barry Steele of this show, but the athletic trainer. But it's nice to have an extra week to get him back going again. But if Challenge starts against Arkansas State, there's no problem there.
Yeah.
There's no problem.
How do you think the team responded? I mean, you have that sudden change where your starting quarterback goes out, and specifically you mentioned Chad. How do you think he responded, and what did you think of his play?
Oh, I thought it was great. And Coach Petrino said afterwards, he said when he went in, now's your time, and I'm proud of you the way you've hung in there. You know that you're the number 2 guy, but you still came in with a great attitude. And his talent is great. And then in the second half, when Linehan put the sock cap on, took off the shoulder pads, he was right there helping Chad. So they help each other. And to me, that's what elevated Chad to that number 1 quarterback in the game, so to speak.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen actually now to the press conference with Coach Paul Petrino in the post-game press conference.
It's awesome. You know, it feels great. I'm really happy for our players. I'm happy for our assistant coaches. I'm happy for her. You know, I'm happy for all the people that hurt so bad each week. You know, my wife, my other 2 kids, assistant coaches' families. They're the ones that really know how hard we work and the hours that we put in and how we live and die, you know, by each game. And they all get to be happy tonight. Really proud of Chad. And Chad came in and just competed his butt off. Matt's going to be okay. It was too bad because he was playing great to start out with. The defense really stepped up and made plays. Josh McCain made some great plays. Jarrell ran good. The O-line blocked really good. Just overall, it was a good day. When you can win on the O-line and D-line, you're going to win games. And we won on those 2 sides. We won there tonight. And when you finally reach where we're going to be here in the future is when you go and you win up front on both sides of the ball in every game. You know, it makes just freaking walking out of this building easier. You know what I mean? It makes everything easier. So it'll be a good night, but we'll go right back to work, you know.
Listening to Coach Petrino there, how happy was he after that win?
Very happy. It was nice to see Coach smile a little bit, you know, and a win will clean up a lot of things. And you notice his daughter sitting there?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Little family, come in, and I noticed the press conference was a lot longer than normal because after a loss, you want to get in, get out. Okay, Coach, thanks. But this was, let's celebrate this thing. And the key is, let's move to November 1st and keep the momentum going. I think that's kind of what he was saying, too.
How nice is it going into the bye week, getting that win?
Yeah, well, especially with Linehan banged up. You know, we've got some guys. This is past the midpoint of the season. And with the win, it's a 4-game season. Now, it's almost like a little camp going on. Let's heal, let's do some camp stuff, and then let's get into game week before November 1st. So I think it structures really well.
How amazing has Josh McCain been? He had some spectacular plays on the field.
I always like to say quarterback to quarterback. You know, the quarterback's got to have good hands. And McCain has good hands, and he had never played quarterback at any level in his life until this past spring. Knowing that Epps is gone, you got to shore up that receiver, and boy, has he done the right thing. And he has speed. He's a scrambling quarterback, so he catches it, he scrambles, and he's got great speed. So you saw the long touchdown from Chalitz to McCain in the first half of play against New Mexico State. So Chad's the man.
Is this season by McCain that he's putting together so far, is this one of the best seasons individually you've seen by a receiver?
Yeah, he has 7 touchdowns, and that is as close as a receiver has had touchdowns since Max Komar, 11 in 09. You know what 09 was?
Yeah.
The bowl game.
Bowl win.
The bowl game.
How much have you seen this team improve from week 1 until now? What things have you seen them improve in?
Wow. I would say the execution, and you know, I mean, execution was there and then it's not there. But then finally the offense coming together, defense playing harder. There's been big plays given up, but like I said on Saturday on the radio, I'll say it again, there were 2 big plays that the Vandal defense gave up. Earlier in the year, you'd have 4, 5 plays. So, hey, we only give up 2 big plays, not 5. And that's an improvement.
Was that the best performance you've seen by the O-line this season? It seemed like they protected Chad pretty well.
I would say yes, it is. And, you know, it looks good when they do protect Chad, but also the running game, when you can spring Brown for over 100 yards, and, you know, Elijah Penny does his thing. Still wish he'd get in on 4th and 1 to get into the end zone, but he'll do that, and he's done it before. Yeah, the O-line is good. Mason Woods up there, Jordan Rose, true freshman, Von Rotz, you know, all the guys up there. Matt Locke from Boise Capital. I mean, they're all gelling, and there's going to be a big hole there next year with Marbo. But we're not saying goodbye to him yet, right? Four more games.
He's the radio voice of Vandal football, Tom Morris. Tom, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, we're going to take a break. Up next, though, we have women's basketball coach John Newley. He'll be coming and chatting with us as the women's basketball team gets set to open their season fairly soon. We're back on Inside the Vandals after this.